Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles. We are here today to discuss luxury digital cardboard rectangles. And those are a very high luxury because you know what? You can't sell them. There's no way of getting your money back on those. Speaking of money, the method that we're going to talk about involves spending no money. I'm going to tell you how you can build up 4 of every rare from a set without having to spend any money. Now, bear in mind, this method is going to be most effective with the current standard set, although theoretically, you could expand this concept to You could expand this concept to older sets if you build up your gold and time it right. But you're gonna have the easiest time just starting with the set that's in standard right now and moving forwards. If you adopt this collection philosophy, you can build up 4 of every single rare available in a new set without spending any money. Now, this method does not guarantee you 4 of every mythic rare, so you may need to spend wildcards in that regard if you want to build particular decks. But overall, the rares you're going to find are actually a choke point for Magic Arena because that's where a lot of your mana base is going to come from, and being able to build up 4 of every rare will make your life a lot easier. Now, you're going to require patience for this method. It is not an immediate method. It requires time to function properly. This is similar to that like marshmallow experiment they did with kids, where it's like, I'm gonna give you a marshmallow now, and if you don't eat the marshmallow, when I come back in 10 minutes, you get a second marshmallow. And some kids couldn't wait and shoved the marshmallow in their mouth right away. In their mouth. They got mice in their mouth. Anyways, they need to feed their mouth mice. So the kids that were able to hold off and like basically delay gratification, they were actually shown to be more successful overall in life. That's an interesting little tidbit. But either way, it's the same kind of philosophy. Now, in this case, the marshmallows are the gold that you earn. What you need to do is you need to not buy the $1,000 gold packs, all right? Like you can take your gold each day, you get 1,000 gold, and you can buy a booster pack. And that's what some people do to build their collection. It's a nice little reward each day. You need to delay that gratification. The true path to success in arena collection building is drafts. Now, some people recoil at this part and they go, oh, but I'm not good at drafts. You don't even have to play in the drafts, okay? You just have to enter the drafts. You can play in the drafts, and I will tell you why you should, but understand that you do not have to play in the drafts for this method to work. You can literally enter drafts and forfeit out of them without playing a single game, and this method will still function for you. It does work a little bit better if you play in the drafts, but it is 100% not necessary. So we're going to break down to you how this method works. What you need to understand is that spending your gold on individual boosters, you're leaving cards and value for yourself on the table and slowing down your ability to grow. To play in a draft on Arena, you need 5,000 gold. We're not talking about the events you can only get into with gems, because obviously with gems, you're going to need to spend money, and that's not what we're here to talk about. So, what we have to do is compare what it's like to buy 5 regular booster packs with a draft, right? So if you buy 5 regular booster packs, you're getting 5 8-card boosters, and if you enter a draft, you're getting 3 15-card boosters. Now, what you need to bear in mind is that the size of the booster packs is fairly irrelevant, because what we're focused on is the rares. If you're like me, you have a ton of common and uncommon wildcards. It's very easy to build up play sets of commons and uncommons. It's not something you even need to focus on. That will happen as a natural side effect of this method. Either way, really, whether you're buying gold packs or doing a draft, you're essentially going to be building up a bunch of commons and uncommons anyways, along with the wildcards. So when you open 5 booster packs with gold, you're getting 5 rares, okay? Now, when you turn to the draft, you get 3 rares from your booster packs, because each pack you open will get you a rare, and you always rare draft. Using this method, you always want to be rare drafting. Understand that. Always take the rares. So you're going to get 3 rares from your booster pack, but just by entering the draft, you are automatically guaranteed a consolation booster pack. So if you concede out of the draft without playing any games, you're going to get a 4th booster pack, right? So that's a 4th rare, or mythic rare, obviously. So that's 4 rares to the 5 rares you're going to get from the gold packs. But that's only if none of the bots hand you a rare. I've played in a ton of drafts where I've been handed at least one extra rare. In some cases, I've gotten 6 rares from the draft. As soon as you get 1 rare extra handed to you in a draft, the draft automatically beats opening those other packs, the 5 gold packs, automatically, because you already have an equal amount of rares. You get more cards overall because you're dealing with 15 card booster packs, and those build up your vault. And the vault is a nice bonus to give you mythic, mythic and rare wild cards, but it's not even part of the strategy. You don't actually use wild cards as part of my rare building strategy. It's purely about playing in drafts and cracking for rares. Now, what you have to do as well, though, is you have to exert your willpower to not open any boosters outside of a draft for 1 or more months. It can take a couple of months for this method to work. Now, understand, I've already done it successfully with Core 2020, and I'm currently doing it with Throne of Eldraine, and I will succeed again in getting 4 of every rare. I made a video talking about this before with M20, but obviously as your audience grows, it's better to come back and revisit these scenarios sometimes because there was a lot of interest shown for this. So here's how it works. When you open those 8 card booster packs, the program is Arena is programmed to never give you a 5th copy of a rare. I saw comments in the comment section saying, I've gotten 6, 7 copies of these particular rares, right? And that's because you're making the mistake of opening your packs before you draft. When you enter into a draft, the 5 of protection doesn't work. It only works on the 8 card packs you open outside of a draft. And there's a logical reason for that. It would allow you to game the drafts and determine what you get in those packs. So the way that Arena packs most likely work, now there's no way to prove this without looking at the algorithm underneath, but the way that Arena packs most likely work is they're programmed to have a higher chance of giving you the less desirable rares first, right? So what you want to do is open those rares in drafts. You want to get 4 copies of all the jank rares in drafts first, because if you open 4 in a draft and then open one from an 8 card pack, that rare will automatically change into something else so you won't get stuck with that jank rare. Versus if you've already opened, like I've opened 5 extra packs over here and they've given me 2 copies of this jank rare and I've already gotten 2 copies through draft and I get my 5th copy through draft, well guess what? All you get then is 20 gems for that rare. It doesn't get converted into another rare for your set. So what you need to do is draft over and over and over and over again. Every time you get 5,000 gold, you enter into a draft, right? You keep the booster pack. So for example, right now, I have 80 unopened booster packs of Throne of Eldraine, and I'm still entering drafts. And as a nice little side note, you gain gems from every draft you enter. Even if you enter a draft and just completely quit with refusing to play people, you will get 50 gems, right? And you can build that up, right? Add 750 gems for another draft. So you can use those to build up for drafts. You can use them to build up for mastery passes or even cosmetic purchases, whatever you want. The gems are a throwaway bonus. They're not necessary either to build up 4 of everywhere. They're just a nice side benefit. And I do encourage you to actually play in the drafts because the draft environment may seem daunting to you at first, but every draft environment is its own thing. And you will learn. What'll happen is people will beat you down with certain cards and you will realize the power level of those cards from being beat down by them. So basically what you can do with drafting is you can fail into success. So you keep getting beat down by things, you'll recognize and go, oh, I need to grab these now. And I'll build that strategy and I'll lay people down. And every once in a while, you'll just get an insane couple of rares where you're like, wow, I'm running house. Like every once in a while, you will just get a broken deck. Even if you feel like you have no skill, the odds are it will happen to you. And if you can just manage to win a couple of games, not only does that crank up the number of gems you get considerably, it also increases the chance of you getting an extra booster pack at the end of the draft, because you can get up to 2 booster packs at the end of each draft. If you win 7 full matches, then you get 2 extra boosters. But each win increases, like you'll have a 20% chance, then a 23% chance, 26% chance. I don't know the exact numbers, but it moves all the way up to having a 40% chance of having an extra booster all the way up to 6 wins, which obviously cranks up the speed at which you're doing things, right? So you keep entering into drafts, just fail into success, play through the drafts anyways, because you've already paid for the experience. Why not? if you lose, it doesn't matter. Like, you don't let it affect you mentally and be like, oh, I suck at drafting. Drafting is a random format, and it's unlike anything else. You have to learn each draft format. Sure, you can learn that removal's a great thing to grab, and evasive creatures are a great thing to grab, but overall, each format will be its own beast with more strong interactions with particular types of cards, and sometimes you'll just get handed a Doom Hammer you can smash people with. So get in there and have fun with it. You're getting free events out of this deal, right? Every 5,000 gold is a free draft and more experience while also building up your collection. And then what you do is you go into the collection part of Magic the Gathering where it shows you all the cards that you own, and you select show me all the rares I own, show me all the rares I don't own, just for the set you're focusing on. And then go through and count up how many rares you're missing. Now bear in mind, you need to pay attention to which of these cards are actually in booster packs and which aren't. This is important with Throne of Eldraine. Things like Thorn Mammoth, those are actually cards from the Brawl deck. So you're not going to get those in booster packs. Do not add those to the total. So total up the number of rares that you are currently missing from the set and compare that to the number of booster packs that you have to determine when it's time to start opening those booster packs. So to use my example, right now I have 80 unopened booster packs of Throne of Eldraine, and I have 120 rares in total that I am missing from my collection for Throne of Eldraine rares, excluding Brawl and other things. Now, what I think you should do in terms of when you decide to open the packs, and I haven't figured out the exact perfect moment to do this, but you want to have basically 10 or 20% more booster packs than cards you are missing, because you're going to get rare wild cards, you're going to get mythic rare wild cards, and you're going to get mythic rares. And so that means, let's say you're missing 80 rares from the set and you have 80 packs. You're not going to get all 80 rares. It's not time to open those boosters yet. Let's say you are missing 100 cards from the set, but you have 120 boosters. That's a great time to start cracking the boosters because you have a better chance of getting all of those rares. And then once you have every rare from the set, any boosters you get will either give you a wild card, a mythic rare, or just some bonus gems, which is pretty nice. Like Throne of Eldraine season is long enough that you still actually have the opportunity. If you start now, you might still, like if you haven't done this at all, you might theoretically still be able to do this with the Throne of Eldraine set. Although you won't have saved up as many boosters, so it may be a bit of a hard push. You may have to wait until the next set comes along to start fresh because it really does matter. The most important thing is to not open any of the boosters that you get. Use the codes that Wizards give, like the Play Eldraine for 3 free boosters. Get yourself a copy of a pre-release code if you can for 6 boosters. All that stuff. Every single booster you can, but do not open any of them. That's where that like marshmallow test I mentioned before comes into play. You got to save them marshmallows. You got to save your gold for drafting, and you have to not open your booster packs. So understand, this may be frustrating in some ways for you if you want to use the cards from a set right away. You may be like, but I want all the cards to play with now. You will have to sacrifice that. You will have to wait. What it means is that by the end of a set's season, so right now we're in Throne of Eldraine season, once Theros drops, we'll be in the Theros season. What it means is during that particular set season, you will not have full play sets of the rare until you get closer to the end of the season. But it means that you will have those available for all the other seasons, for the entire time the set's in Standard. So by building a playset of all the rares from Throne of Eldraine, you will have all the rares for the entire time Throne of Eldraine is in Standard, and even then when it rotates to Historic. They are signaling that Arena is going to be here for a long time by bringing in Pioneer. So you are building your collection for Historic, you're building your collection for Pioneer, and you're building it to get to use it in Standard time. And you can do it all without spending any money. And if you want to ramp this up, if you have a truly competitive Magic deck, like a truly competitive Standard deck, you can enter into Standard events that cost 500 gold to get into, but you can win 1,000 gold from if you make it all the way through and win all the way through it. And it does seem that those events aren't quite as competitive as the ranked tiers are, so you can get in there, and every event you win will give you 500 gold, and that means every 10 of those wins that you get will let you grind out a full extra draft. And as you earn gems, if you've already bought the Mastery Pass, and I do recommend getting the Mastery Pass with this, but only with gems, because again, we're talking about a non-expenditure setup where you're not spending money. Like, use your gems, build up your gems through draft, buy the Mastery Pass, because you don't have to get the Mastery Pass right away. Remember that. You can get the Mastery Pass at any time during the season and get all the rewards. So you draft, you build up these gems, then you spend the gems buying the Mastery Pack, and all of a sudden you're going to get a bunch of extra booster packs. Now, those booster packs mostly won't be Throne of Eldraine, so it's not like you absolutely need the Mastery Pass, but it will add to what you're gathering and give you some extra packs and styles too. So I recommend that you get that as well, but it's not absolutely necessary. You can augment and speed up this path by winning with a powerful standard deck. So if you spent the wild cards or built a powerful standard deck, you can accelerate the process. That would be a way to finish your Throne of Eldraine set if you started today. If you added that in, you could crank up the number of drafts. You can also reinvest the gems into more drafts to accelerate your collection. Because again, remember, you're building for the future. You're building for the long term. So it's really, really simple overall. To boil everything I said down into a short little blurb, here's what you do. Save all of your gold. Only spend your gold on drafts. Never open any booster packs that you get until you've accumulated a lot of the rares from the set, and the number of booster packs that you have exceeds the number of rares you need to complete the set. That's really all it's going to take, and you can get 4 of every rare. And that path will also lead you to getting a bunch of extra wild cards too, through your pack openings and everything like that. Because when you open those 8 card packs, it does earn towards wild cards. So I think that I've laid it all out very clearly. This method is successful. I've used it myself before. I'm right in the middle of doing it for Throne of Eldraine, and I will continue to do it for each successive set. Now, under ideal situations, this does mean you're going to want to log in to Arena every day if you can manage it, and crank out enough wins to get the first 4 wins where you get 250 gold and then another 100 for your other 3 wins, right? That's the ideal scenario. If you can't log in super frequently, this method may not be effective enough to get you the full playsets, but it still is a fantastic way to build your collection. And as you play in the drafts and practice, you will notice that you're getting better at it, and it will give you more gems. If you can just win a couple of games in a draft, you're going to get like 200 or 300 gems a draft, which means every 3 drafts you're winning a free draft, and you can just keep rolling it in and keep going. Like right now, I have 6,000 gems in my account, and that's all just from drafting. That's literally what it's from. I didn't put any money in for M20. I didn't put any money in for Throne of Eldraine. I'm literally growing this organically without spending a penny, and you can too. If you have questions about how this all works, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try and see if I can explain what I missed, because I feel like I covered everything, but you never know. When it comes to giving instructions or explaining things, it's easy to miss something too. So I want to thank all my patrons and channel members. Just so you know, I have limited edition Oko merchandise down in the description area. Go on and check it out. It's fantastic. Won't be around for long because we got a banning coming. We got a banning coming on Monday. Things are going to get shaken up. That's going to be interesting. We will talk about that. If you're not subscribed, you might want to go ahead and do that, and double check if you're subscribed if you already think you are, because YouTube has been unsubscribing people to my channel for some weird reason. So on that note too, I have a second channel. If you want to check that out, I do funny, ridiculous things over there. Me and Carly recorded some more videos for it. We got 3 videos in the works and a bunch of other nonsense coming for that channel because it's a lot of fun. So I guess right here at the end of the video, I'll link some stuff to my other channel. If you like what I'm doing here, help my other channel grow. Help me become a gigantic Akira-like presence and Blob take over the entirety of YouTube and really the internet overall. Let's do it. Let's make me into a living god! And remember, my friends, together we are the 6th color of magic.